Hey everybody, Mungo Dark Matter here, and today I thought I'd do a overview and review of Arcus, which is a virtual instrument that works in Kontakt. It was created by Native Instruments and Orchestral tools, and it's basically an ambient cinematic type background kind of drone swelling type sound thing. So it's basically it's not so much made to create melodies as kind of an ambient or background continual kind of tone that will change and such. And so that's the important thing to know about it. It's certainly not something that is very, very articulated. It's more of a wash. So to start out with, the instrument has like 3 layers, so you can do 3 layers of orchestral instruments on top of each other. And there is a center control right here, and this one control actually controls the blend of the layers. So when we start out on this one side over here, it's layer 1. As we move up towards layer 2, it brings in layer 2, and as we move to layer 3, it brings in layer 3. So that changes the overall sound and drone or wash, whatever you want to call it, and because it's adding in instruments. So it's a very interesting control that you have here. Now we're using this in Kontakt right now, but Kontakt's a VST, so you can use it as a VST and a DAW as well. So that's one thing, and then we have the bottom control here, which controls the effects level. So it's kind of the dry, wet level on it. Each layer has actually an effects overlay you can put in here. You have a filter, a delay, a reverb. You can do different levels on them. On each layer you can adjust this. Also, each layer has like a volume control on it. So you could have them all at equal levels, or you could have some of the levels higher or lower. And as you use the blend to mix them in, if you have it at a lower level, it will come in much lower. And as you get all the way to the right, once this controls all the way to the right, all 3 layers are playing, and they're playing at maximum volume, but it's the maximum volume that's set for the layers. So if one layer is set at a lower volume, it will go to that volume and no higher. And so as this dial moves, you start off first with this layer, and then it's raising the level of the layer, and then raising the overall volume level of each layer as you're going along, but it will not go above what you set the maximum volume of for a layer. So right now I'm gonna set this effects level all the way up on this particular sample. I'm gonna play something and show you. So if we have it down here at this, it's very low, and we're bringing it up. And so that adjusts that on there. And if we go here up to the top, and we can select a different sound. Now let's do a swell, and let's do polyplex. And let's bring this back down. And so you can see how it changes the sound on that. I'm going to bring up this this effects level all the way, and let's bring this down again and take a listen to it. You can hear as it goes up, because this is all dulcimer, you can hear just different qualities coming into the sound, from stuttering to shifting as we go up. So it has a very interesting effect. as the layers can be, depending on how different the instrument is and what type of or style it's coming out as, it can be quite different as it goes up. The level goes up on the blend control. So you can do the same thing. So as you're playing and you're creating these swells or ambient backdrops or cinematic backdrops, you can change either of these so that you can change. For example, if we hold this down, we can change the level of the effects that are going into it overall, and we can change the level of what layers are coming in. So you can create your own instruments, and if we take a look at this right here real quick, if we go to a layer, here are all of the different instruments that you have. And under each one of these instruments you might have long, quiet long, shifting, stutter, waving. And depending on the actual instrument, you might have more or less options over to the right here. Some of them have quite a few options in them. Like the woodwinds have airy, drops, slurring, and so each of these are samples that you can mix in. And like I said, you can have several instruments. You could have 3 different instruments, 2 different instruments, or all the same instruments in each of the layers, and just change this style of how the note is, the quality of the note, whether it's a long or stuttering or fluttering or vibrating, however you want to look at it. So that's kind of like just a basic overview of the entire thing. We can actually go up here. There are presets, and you can create your own presets, of course. By selecting each of the layers, you can start out with whatever preset you want, create a new one, or do something from scratch. So if we go up here, you'll see that it gives us things like, we have different things like motions, pads, sparkles, textures. So if we just go through this real quick, let's go to motions and see what this is like. I'm going to turn the effects level all the way up on this one. And just go up and down on the layers, and so you can see how the layers are adding to it. So we'll go here and we'll see what a pad looks like. We'll just pick one kind of at random here. What sparkles are like. These are just categories that they've created to give you an idea of what these types of sounds are like. It's just kind of like when they have presets and they have like lead and bass presets, and other, they categorize them to just make it easier to find what the quality of the sound might be. It's Twinkling Orchestra. So that was sparkles, I believe. Let's go to stutter. That's what this is. Then we'll go to sub. Sub is like more bassy type sounds, I believe. And so if we go to let's try brass for this one. Low brass. Let's try that. right, so here are swells right here. Let's go to running fifth. And then the last one is texture, so let's just pick one randomly out of here. Song of Uncertainty, that sounds interesting. Alright, so those are some of the presets and the types of sounds that this creates, and basically how the thing works overall. I really like this instrument thus far. I've just gotten in and just started playing with it right now, but it seems like it has a lot of possibilities and a lot of flexibility in it, and you have a lot of control over each of these aspects, including what layer is playing, what volume level of layer, and what effects are on each layer. I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and this has been Dark Matters, and whatever you do, enjoy the day, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.